In the hills of Meghalaya, every New Year's Eve, brave souls leap into a pool filled with solid ice blocks. A ritual that's been passed down for 27 years. Thousands of miles away in Japan, followers of the Shinto faith practice misogi, a sacred act of purification through cold water. And today it's everywhere, from elite athletes to celebrities to your favorite influencers. But is cold water immersion truly a miracle in recovery and performance? Or is it just another trend frozen in hype? Cold therapy isn't something new. Ancient Indians, Egyptians, Greeks took bath in frigid waters believing it to boost your health. Plunge into icy water and your body launches a full-scale defense called cold shock with an initial sudden gasp, a spike in heart rate, constriction of blood vessel, and flooding of your bloodstream with stress hormones. Cold activates the sympathetic nervous system, which increases your alertness. This is followed by increasing the parasympathetic activity, which is definitely better in the long run. Over time, regular exposure can improve thermoregulation, cardiovascular stability, and is called cold water adaptation. Recent brain imaging studies show cold water immersion can shift brain connectivity. It strengthens networks responsible for positive emotions, focus, and motivation. After just 5 minutes in cold water, participants not only felt energized and vividly alive, they also had lesser distress and nervousness. Increased concentration of dopamine, serotonin, beta endorphins have been reported after cold water immersion. Apart from the workout, this is one of the reasons for the remarkable post-swim high. A point to note, however, is that some recent randomized controlled trials that were performed did not find a clear improvement in mood, unlike previous non-RCTs that were performed. This could be due to differences in the study design or even the measurement scales that were used. But what about athletic recovery? The reason most people try it. Cold water immersion is an effective recovery tool after high intensity exercise, with positive outcomes occurring for muscle power, soreness, and perceived recovery 24 hours after exercise. Meta-analysis shows cold immersion can reduce muscle soreness by 20 to 30% in the first 24 to 48 hours post-exercise, and is even seen to be better than other recovery methods we use after exercise. It also helps clear lactate faster and reduces perceived exertion immediately after workout. So after a tough workout, soaking in cold water can help you feel better faster. Here's how. It slows down nerve signals, reducing signals causing muscle spasm and pain. It improves blood flow by redistributing to the center. This helps clear waste products, brings fresh blood, and speeds recovery. It also reduces edema, and this has effects of reducing inflammation and improving circulation. Although it sounds all rosy, especially for athletes, it's important you understand the flip side. Cold water immersion temporarily lowers explosive performance with 4% decrease in jump height for 1 degree decrease in temperature. So using it in between training sessions or on the day of your performance won't be a good idea. This happens because of longer relaxation time and lower nerve impulse frequency. Long-term overuse might blunt training adaptation, especially muscle growth and improvement in your muscle strength. Like in this study, a 12-week training program decreased long-term gains in muscle mass and strength by blunting the activation of key proteins and satellite cells in skeletal muscle up to 2 days after resistance exercise. What about cold water immersion being a magic bullet that was supposed to boost immunity and reduce inflammation? Immune boosts that do occur are short-lived and greatly varied based on various factors like protocols, physiological adaptations, and environmental factors. But a 29% reduction in self-reported sickness was seen among participants taking cold shower in a study. Many people use cold water immersion after exercise to reduce inflammation, but research suggests that its effect is actually quite limited. One study found that cold water immersion didn't reduce inflammation or cell stress any more than active recovery protocols like walking or stretching. Another study showed that 10 minutes in cold water didn't significantly lower key inflammation markers in the blood. In fact, longer cold exposure like 10 degree or 20 degree actually increase some of these inflammatory markers in some instances. In a study that included a fake treatment, cold water wasn't more effective than the placebo, suggesting that people might be feeling better because they expect it to work. One possible explanation is that cold water triggers a release of stress hormones like adrenaline, which might delay the body's usual inflammatory response rather than prevent it entirely. When you are repeatedly exposed to cold, your body adapts to it by blunting vasoconstriction, retaining heat, or even metabolically producing more heat. This by itself can have positive health benefits. The stress and inflammatory responses of adapted cold water swimmers were found to be lower than those of unadapted volunteers. Cold adaptation could also enhance tolerance to other forms of stress by upregulating cell protective mechanisms. Cold acclimation has also been seen to improve insulin sensitivity in type 2 diabetes mellitus and healthy people. I'll be following this up in a separate video as this merits special attention. So what are the pros and cons? It reduces delayed onset muscle soreness. It boosts mood and alertness. It improves acute recovery. The drawback being it may blunt muscle strength and growth. It can lower immediate explosive power and is not a long-term cure for inflammation. While cold plunges can be beneficial, here are a few important safety points you should know. It can result in irregular heartbeats and can be problematic for people with heart problems. Muscle and nerve function can drop in the cold. There's a risk of hypothermia if done for long durations. It can even cause non-freezing type of injuries that can even be permanent and cause a lot of pain. If you feel excessive numbness, sharp pain, or discomfort that feels strong, stop immediately. Cold exposure is a tool, not a test of pain tolerance. If you want the benefits without drawbacks, use cold water immersion sparingly after especially tough sessions or tournaments. 10 to 15 degree for 10 to 15 minutes has the best effects for immediate and delayed effect on muscle soreness. Make sure to prioritize warm-up before re-entering training. In the end, cold water is neither a miracle nor a myth. It's a powerful ally when used with understanding. Have you tried cold plunges? Share your experience in the comments. And if you found this video valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more science-backed deep dives.